I think you will agree that being resilient is important for teachers because we teachers face challenges and setbacks in our profession. Hello everyone, my name is Gail Reyes Galang and welcome to QC Teachers Tayo para sa paghilom, pagbangon at pag-asa. Teachers commonly face challenges such as managing a large class size, addressing diverse learning needs, dealing with behavioral issues, balancing workload, navigating administrative demands, and not to mention encountering our own personal challenges like work and life balance and emotional stress. So it is important to find ways to become resilient or to be able to bounce back from these challenging situations, right? And for this reason, the Miriam College Center for Peace Education and the Department of Psychology bring you this webinar entitled Resilience is My Superpower. So allow me to introduce our speaker for today. Dr. Clarissa Carmelita Mariano Licon is a faculty member of the School of Arts and Sciences and Education at Miriam College, where she is also a Gurong Lingkod volunteer. Outside of Miriam College, she is a consultant at a learning institution. She gives talks to different organizations. She contributes to local magazines with articles focusing on early childhood, teaching, and parenting. In addition, she has written textbooks and training modules used by pre-service and tenured teachers. So Dr. Ligon received the Outstanding Junior Faculty Award in the President's Award for Teaching Excellence at Miriam College and the Teacher of the Year Award from Step Up International a few years back. Above all, these many tasks, what she enjoys doing the most is being a wife and a mom to her two loving and high-spirited boys. So let's all welcome Dr. Clarissa Ligon. Hi, Dr. Clar.
Hi, Doc Gail. Good day to everyone, and of course to you.
Okay, so we're very excited about what you're going to share with us. Can you tell us the objectives of your talk?
Yes, just like what you said, you mentioned the term resilience. Okay, burnt out might be a word that would come to the minds of our viewers. So, just three objectives for this day. Number one is, of course, I'll start off first by discussing teachers' well being and why this is important. I think this is something we need to look into further. Then, second, recognize that resilience is a superpower of ours. And I believe one of the superpowers we have as teachers. And then number three is to introduce what are the pillars of teachers' resilience. So I have four very doable ones, I promise, because I know teachers have a lot of things ongoing already, but very doable, very easy to remember. So these are the three objectives that I have for today.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Clar, and we're very excited to hear from you. And so the virtual floor is now yours.
All right. So as I share my slide, I do understand that teachers have various workloads. Okay. As of now, we are shifting back to what we call the regular or back to normal programming. And when we say back to normal programming, it's on-site classes. But sometimes we have to do online or hybrid is still there. And that means to say we still juggle, okay, these two on learning modes, okay, and sometimes you do have module approach as well, and that's why I want to share with everyone this topic that's super close to my heart, and that's resilience is my superpower. In the future, who knows, there might still be other challenges that may come our way as teachers, and I really believe that whatever challenges that would be, this is something that will be useful. So it's for all seasons, right? So I'll start off first with what is teachers' well-being. So when we talk about well-being of teachers, according to Acton and Glasgow, okay, they both said that this is the individual sense of personal, professional fulfillment. So we cannot separate the two according to this definition. Included here is satisfaction, okay, with the work that you do. Okay, you also find your purpose in this career, in this profession. There is also happiness, okay, involved. Okay, and we cannot do that without our collaborative process with our students and also colleagues, co-workers, co-teachers, and also administrators and staff of the school. Now, let's take a look at why the importance of teacher well-being is looked into. Okay? In 2001, Kryaku said that in a global research, teachers experience higher stress than many other professions. So let me see, do you agree with this as opposed to those who are in the field of business, those who are in the field of marketing, right? Those who are in the field of health, okay? In, let's say, for example, communication, right? In this research, it highlighted that it is teachers, specifically teachers in the education field, that do experience higher stress. And if that's the case, then indeed, teachers' well-being is very much important. This has to be looked into for three primary reasons. So I categorize the three important reasons. And number one, it's because if the teacher has a positive well-being, then that means to say it affects his or her performance. So performance is better if teacher is satisfied, if teacher sees this career as his or her purpose, if teacher finds happiness in teaching. And let me connect that to the second reason why teachers' well-being has to be looked into. With performance, if the teacher is doing well, then that means to say it's also connected to the student's well-being. Because the teacher is enjoying what he or she is doing, then relatively, students will also perform well. Or this, when that, like say for example, let's do not put ourselves as teachers, but put ourselves as students. Back then, look into the teachers that you enjoy listening to, enjoy learning to, because that's you as a student, and that concerns your well-being. So isn't it not you're more proactive, you like to recite better, you participate better, you take down notes, if there's a homework, you do it at home. So that's how connected teachers' well-being is with students' well-being. So if we say teachers' performance becomes better if the well-being is positive, then so as students' performance as well. And then at the end, at the last part, as you can see on the right, this is definitely connected to the school success. In general, because if the teacher is performing well, if the students are performing well, so let's look into particularly perhaps very much important here is when there are national achievement tests, right? So we can look into that, yes, the students will perform well, and thus it would equate to the success of the school. So I hope, teachers, with this, you are now looking into your well-being and why, this is very crucial. So let's take a look at situations, scenarios, very recent during the pandemic. Are teachers thriving or are teachers merely just surviving? So in this slide, I have three information. One is from United Kingdom, and it says here that half of the teachers in United Kingdom who participated in this study had a decline, okay, focusing on their mental health during the first stage of the coronavirus pandemic. So, and I think it's not only limited to teachers, but the teachers were affected also. Now, in Portugal, okay, there's one study that looked into the reduced perception of the teacher's well-being. So from positive, the positivity of the perception lessened, and thus there is a concern about their future in the profession. So in this study, it was mentioned that teachers are looking into, do I still stay in the profession, or do I leave this profession? Do I leave teaching? Right? Do I go find another job as well, but not being a teacher? And now in Spain, okay, this is with regards to the return of face to face. What happened here is that teachers revealed that they do have high percentage of anxiety, okay? And I think this is also um, relevant to other professions, but then again, teachers were also affected during this time. Right. So maybe at this time from your end, what about the Philippines? So I have here two studies, one in 2020 and one in 2021. Okay. So one study, they showed that teachers perceive that because of COVID-19 had a threat. So there's a perceived threat. Okay. And the level is from moderate to high. Okay. So when we hear the word threat, it doesn't sound okay. It's not connected to well-being, right? And then another one shows that there is a high level of fear of COVID-19. And, okay, so this one mentioned about teacher burnout, okay? But I believe prior to pandemic, right? Prior to the term COVID-19, we have been hearing the term burnt out already. Teachers burnt out. Okay? Pagod na si teacher. Okay? Siguro naririnig din na may mga guro na umaalis na, okay, sa eskwelahan, okay, at lumilipat, okay, naghahanap, okay, ng ibang profession o profesyon. Okay? So ano ang sagot natin dyan? What is the answer to a teacher's burnout, right? Because we do want teachers, especially those who are performing well, to stay in the profession because they not only do they teach well, and that of course affects directly their students, but these teachers are what we call also mentors. Okay? They mentor the new teachers. They give tips. Okay? They give advices, okay, that sometimes, we cannot find it in books. Okay? It was not taught to us when we were studying teacher education. Okay? And these mentors, okay, are very easy to talk to because they're there. Okay? They are in the school where we work at, right? So there are three. When we talk about resilience, okay, three terms I want you to remember because resilience might not be new to us, but, okay, in our minds, we'll say, okay, resilience, narinig ko na yan. Okay, very briefly, sige, I'll share with you what resilience is all about, right? So number one, we talk about the concept. This was mentioned by Dr. Gale a while ago, the ability to bounce back. A bit common when we talk about resilience. Second is the ordinary magic. Okay, and third is a Japanese term, kintsugi. Okay, the third one is a bit recent in terms of connecting it with resilience. So I'll start off first with the ability to bounce back. So resilience is commonly defined as this phrase. So So, ability to bounce back. So, parang pag nagkaroon ka ng problema, mas mabilis mong nasusolusyonan, di ba? This is your capacity to recover quickly from difficulties. Maga, hindi mo pinapatagal, okay? Naghahanap ka ng solusyon. Okay? Now, sometimes the younger ones now would use the term power through, okay, or pull through. From what? Okay, from adversity, from trauma, we have tragedy, threats, and or significant sources of stress. And perhaps, in the field of education or as a teacher from our end, we can categorize it or put it in the significant sources of stress. So there are, a couple of stressors. I'll let you reflect on that. Would it come from workload? Sometimes maybe change in the curriculum, number of students in your class. So that's the teacher-student ratio. Sometimes would it be parents? Can it be lack of support? So various sources of stress, but don't worry. The pillars of resilience that I'll share with you later, they can deal with all these sources of stress. Okay? And the third bullet tells us that individuals, okay, have their own way to cope and respond to challenges. Okay? So it can be case-to-case basis, and that's why I'll be presenting 4 pillars with the hope that at least you get to embrace one. Okay? If you get to embrace 2, 3, 4, then better. Okay, but we can start slow. We can start off first with one. Okay? And I want to highlight here, when we are resilient, okay, we are helped in terms of facing the challenges as teachers. And okay, resiliency protects us from becoming overwhelmed. Okay? And sometimes when we are overwhelmed, okay, we cannot function well already, correct? And that affects our work. So, second is what we call ordinary magic. Okay? When we talk about ordinary magic, okay, I like this concept because some people would say resilience, ano ba yan? Parang ang hirap naman ata yan. Hindi ko kaya yan kasi then we have reason. Can be gender kasi babae ako. Ay, kasi matanda na ako. Ay, kasi wala akong pera, pambili ng kung ano man yung pwedeng gawin para makuha yung resilience. So sabi dito, no, it says, it does not come from rare, unique, or special qualities. Kung tutuusin lahat tayo, okay, meron ito. Okay, kaya natin makamit ito. Okay, because it comes from the everyday magic of the ordinary. Okay? Ordinary, all of us. Okay? And with the term everyday, we can use this every day. Okay? Through our minds, through our brains, and through our bodies. Okay? So for all of you listening, okay, regardless okay, what you are going through right now, no reason, no excuse. Okay? Because again, resilience is ordinary magic. Okay? We have it. Okay? Don't say first year of teaching ko pa lang, I haven't been in the profession for 3 months. Tapos, can I have this resilience already? Yes. Okay? And we also have the third one is kintsugi. Okay, so what is kintsugi? This is the Japanese art of putting broken pottery back together with the use of gold, right? So the idea here is you can create an even stronger, more beautiful piece of art after it's been broken. So the reason why I say this is a little bit new, okay, it's just connected to resilience. It's because kintsugi, okay, tells us that we accept, okay, we recognize that there are challenges. And that's the part na, ay, nabasag yung base. Okay? We don't say, we don't sugarcoat. Okay? It's not already focusing on bounce back. Okay, magba-bounce back na ako, magba-bounce back. You can look into, okay, the challenges, okay, that you have encountered. Okay, you can look into that. You can put emphasis on that, but don't dwell on it. Okay, because again, you can put the broken vase, the broken pottery back together. Okay? And when we talk about putting it together, sometimes from our end, kaya ko ba? Diba, mababalik ko ba tong vase na to, tong pottery na to, tong cup na to, parang ang daming maliliit na pieces, okay, na kailangan kong ibalik. And the answer here is yes. Okay? Just have the courage to come back. Okay? To come back, right? To adapt, to manage, to rebuild. All right. So now I move on, okay, to my third objective. This is the last part of the talk, okay? And this is the 4 pillars of teachers' resilience. So paano ba to? Paano ko ma-develop tong quality na to now that I understand what resilience is, okay? So I have 4. Number 1, believe in what you do. Number 2, don't take it personally. Number 3, be proud. And number 4, you are not alone. So let's start off first in believe in what you do. Maybe a good question that I can ask you is, why are you teaching? Why are you in this profession? Especially for those who have been here for a long time. I know there are some of you who's been in the profession for 20, 30 years, 40 years. So why are you in this profession, right? And I think you will find the reason connected to this pillar because you believe in what you do, because you know your contribution to your students, and these contributions to these students will have an effect to the community, right? And then to the nation. So I hope you see that, right? Your vision is not just the students in front of you, but based on what you've given these students, what can they do in their community? What can they do in the nation? Okay, when given a chance, when they become older, right? So self-belief is the cornerstone element of resilience. So remember that. Uulitin ko po, no? The cornerstone element of resilience is self-belief. Kumbaga po, no, wag na po tayo mag-antay ng ibang tao mag-cheer sa atin. We have to be our own cheerleaders. Okay? So those teachers who believe in themselves, according to research, will less likely to leave the classroom. So hindi po aalis. Hindi po maghahanap ng ibang profession. Okay? Now, if you believe in yourself, sa third bullet, nakalagay po dito, is that you become confident. Okay? And with this confidence, you stay in the profession. Okay? Because being confident allows you to feel fulfilled. Okay? And, this is going to be a cycle for resilient teachers. So, confidence, right? Believe in yourself. That you have a purpose. That's why you are here. Why have you stayed in the profession for such a long time, right? So that's believe in yourself. Okay, siguro maganda we tell ourselves now, I believe in myself. Okay, and then you can do affirmations. I am a good teacher. Okay, I believe in my capability to teach my students. Yan po yung mga tinatawag nating affirmations. Okay. So let me go now. I don't know what happened to my slide. Ayan. So next, we move on to number 2, okay, is don't take it personally. This is connected in self-belief as well, right? Because sometimes other people, okay, in the environment, okay, might tell us things, okay, criticisms, and we take it personally. Yung tinatawag po natin, dinibdib po talaga natin siya, no? And we feel that we are not in the right profession. Okay? Kaya nga ang tawag po natin dapat dyan is constructive criticism. Okay? So anong ibig sabihin ng constructive criticism? So if somebody tells us, okay, it's all a criticism, it's a comment for our own improvement. Siguro we need to pause and think, etong comment ba na to, diba, makakatulong ba to sa ikabubuti ko bilang isang guro? So you have to reflect also, and you have to know who you are. Okay? So sometimes there are teachers, they take outcomes too personally. For example, there is a project that you have given to the students, tapos the next day, marami sa kanila parang they did not bring the materials. So of course, I understand that with all the reminders you've given, that would hurt. Diba? Masakit, parang hindi binigyang importansya kay yung subject mo, yung tinuturo mo. So ano kayang pwedeng mangyari doon? No? Siguro it's good for us to think also why? Right? Kasi remember, when your students go to you, okay, they have some baggages that they bring in also. So what are these baggages, right? So sometimes they might have problems, baka financial, maybe their parents are arguing, okay? So do not depersonalize the unpleasant events. Yun nga yung sinasabi nila, no? Siguro maganda rin, meron talagang thin line with regard, line, no? Kahit nga hindi thin, no? For us to separate professional and personal matters. So kailangan, third bullet tells us to create strong and healthy boundaries, right? So find time for yourself also, okay? What it is that gives you happiness outside of the teaching profession. Because this is one way to take care of yourself. Remember, tandaan po natin, we are an important part of the education system, right? So, without us, of course, who will teach the students? Okay, so very concrete ways that we can do for us not to take it, whatever that is personally. So, number 1, positive perspective on situations. So, bakit kaya ito yung comment na nabigay sa akin ng aking observer? Okay? Bakit si parent, okay, meron siyang sinuggest? Okay? So, ano kaya? Sige nga, I put myself in their situation. Ano kaya yung nakikita nila na hindi ko nakikita? And then second, when there are challenges, these are learning opportunities for us. O sige, ano pa kayang pwede kong gawin? Ano pa kaya yung mga paraan para mapabuti ko yung ginagawa ko? Or for example, if that's a student of yours, okay, who has some challenges, anong pwede kong gawin? As teachers, we are labeled lifelong learners, right? Okay, and then number 3 part of that is regulating our emotions. Okay, wag din natin kimkimin. We can express our feelings. So I've mentioned to you mentors, right? So pwede mong ikwento, okay? Pwede kang humingi ng payo kung anong pwede mong gawin. Number 4, think about it, okay? Is this something that I can control? Or this is beyond my control? I cannot change it anymore, right? Maybe there are some things that will be implemented, okay? Is it within your control or not, okay, in your control anymore? So, we now have, okay, cognitive distortion. So, they are false. Okay, maybe it's just in your brain. Diba? Kulang na sa self-belief. It's just you who's thinking about it. Okay? And then reframing negative thoughts to be more realistic and positive. Okay? So, positive psychology, we can try to apply that. And then number 3, be proud. Okay? Sometimes this is something that's lacking of us, teachers. Okay? Perhaps, with the notion na, kasi teacher lang po ako, so tatanggalin natin yon. Teacher ako. Okay? You have to be proud, okay, of what you do, what your profession is. Sabi nga nila, there will be no other professions without, okay, teachers. Okay? I hope you agree with that. So being proud allows one to feel capable of exploring and navigating new environments. Okay? So if you're confident about yourself, number 1, number 2, you don't take things personally, then you feel proud about what you do, okay? You are able now to try out new ventures in the teaching profession. Meaning to say maybe a new approach that's introduced to you. Okay? And secondly, that's connected to you being proud or confident that if there are challenges, so kung may challenge ka na hinarap, okay, kaya ko yan. I can bounce back. Okay? I can find ways. Kumbaga, hindi ka nararatel agad-agad, okay, in a difficult situation. Or you can say, okay, sige, subukan ko ulit to. Baka last year with my set of students, it did not work out well. What if I give it a twist and I'll try it again? All right, so that's being proud. Some ways for you to practice being proud. So again, self-affirmation. Okay, I did this. Okay, and sometimes, the accomplishments of your students are your accomplishments too. Okay, so for example, as simple as you were not late for the month, you were not absent. Okay, the scores of your students were like this and that. And then again, because of this affirmation, it allows you now to say, all right, this is why I am in the field of teaching. Okay? These affirmation allow you also, right, to stay centered, to stay focused on why you are teaching. This will prepare you for some unforeseen circumstances, and sometimes as teachers, isn't it not, because we deal with human beings, we're not sure what's gonna happen on everyday basis. Okay, we have really lesson plans, okay, but sometimes there are unforeseen circumstances, brown out, or a student who got sick on that day, etc. So I hope this is one thing you can do. Practice daily affirmations. Practicing this will help you stay motivated even in quite difficult times. And lastly, I want to share with you, and I want to end with this, that you are not alone. Okay? What helps is forming strong networks, relationships, okay? Not just within the school, because again, you have a mentor, you have co-workers, okay, but also outside of school for you to develop teacher resilience. So something that can be helpful is a positive environment at home, okay, healthy relationship with your family, and maybe significant others or friends. So again, this will help you, okay, develop your resilience, because who you are outside of school, okay, is something that you cannot really separate. So for example, if things are not going that so well in school, then you have this strong network outside of school that can help you, that can build your self-confidence, maybe another set of cheerleaders aside from you being your own cheerleader. And, okay, with that, I end by saying at the heart of every school, okay, would be the teachers. Okay? Tayo po. Okay, we play a very important role, and that's why we have to take care of our well-being. And to do that, okay, we have to remember that we have this superpower called resilience. Thank you very much. And that ends my presentation.
So thank you again, Dr. Clar. And from your talk, we realized that teachers can indeed develop resilience by cultivating a growth mindset that is not being afraid of failure. We can also seek support and guidance from colleagues, mentors, and even our family. We should also endeavor self-care, and by doing this, we are able to maintain a positive outlook. Reflecting on past successes and learnings from setbacks can also help build resilience. Additionally, engaging in professional development activities like webinars of this sort can help us to keep connected with each other, to build a supportive educational community, and all these can definitely contribute to resilience building. So, with that, we hope that every teacher will have resilience as their superpower. Thank you, teachers, for listening. A self assessment will be presented to you in the coming days for you to reflect on as part of your journey towards peace, positivity, and productivity. A certificate of participation will be emailed to you once we receive your self assessment. Once again, I am Gail Galang from Miriam College. Miriam College commits to journey with the Quezon City LGU and the Quezon City Schools Division Office in taking care of our teachers. After all, QC teachers tayong lahat.